Okay, welcome
All right.
everyone. We have this very special guest, Brandon Seabrook from, I'm assuming, Brooklyn, New York. That's what I've read and
Right.
seen online. Hello, Brandon. Thank you for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, I'm just going to jump straight into the music
Yeah.
because that's what I normally do, and I forgot to kick it off this way.
Okay.
But let's listen to Lamborghini Helicopter, which is one
Woo.
of the most ridiculous songs I've ever heard.
I've done my job.
All right, here we go. Let's start from the beginning.
Yep.
I'm a little scatterbrained today. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. I'm
Okay. But
Let's
I
just
have a
listen and
good.
we can watch. I don't have need the
Yeah.
screen up. Okay, cool. Sorry everyone. Brandon,
Hey, there it is.
what what are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That
Had to
requires
come out.
unbelievable precision. Just incredible
Yeah.
precision. How did you pull this off?
Well, we rehearsed that one quite a bit. I mean, this was recorded 14 years ago now. I just, when you contacted me about it, like I said before, I hadn't thought about this record in a while because it's from some years ago. So I listened to it again for the first time in years, and I was wondering the same thing. The things you do in your youth, like how did we? I don't even know. Honestly, after not listening to it for like 12 years, I don't even know how we did it. But we did rehearse quite a bit, and yeah, we just pulled up in a room and just played it.
That
And
it's totally insane, and I don't know if people have seen this, but um, somebody tagged me in a video responding or sort of reacting to that
oh, I
song.
saw you sent that to me. Yeah, I watched that. It was hilarious.
Yeah, but like, not only was it hilarious, I loved that they caught on not
Yeah,
to wow, this is really out there, but the level of technicality and musicianship on display in a track like this. It
yeah,
sounds like it could be an accident, like to
right,
the
right.
untrained ear, but
Yeah,
to someone who listens for this stuff, it is
yeah.
very clear. You guys are like King Crimson, Mr. Bungle level, Rush level, time precision, because
Oh,
this
thanks.
is not easy to pull off.
No, and yeah, and I'm trying to take myself back into the recording session. I mean, we just played it down. We had played it so many times. Yeah, you just get into the room and you work it out.
Was that
When you
recorded live?
It was recorded, yeah, in the studio in a take. I don't think we did any punches. There's some double tracking. There's some overdubs, doubling of the banjo. There's some percussion overdubs, but the basic track we just cut it, live in the studio. Maybe a couple of takes, probably, because you can only play it so many. A track like that, you can't do more than 3 takes at the most, or your arm's gonna fall off. I mean, it's extremely physical, which was the whole idea behind the band, was to sort of like how how far can you push yourself physically? Because the banjo that I'm playing, through an amp and direct with a pickup and a mic on it, is an instrument with virtually no sustain. It's like a drum. It has a drum head and it's tuned in fifths, like the standard tuning. And yeah, it's not easy to play at that velocity with huge big drums and like. But that was, I kind of wanted to take an instrument known for early jazz and ragtime and put it into sort of like a prog rock, metal, technical, because it's so percussive. It's like a drum. I'm always fascinated with the drums. The first thing I listen to in a band is like, what's the drummer doing? And I've always been like that. So this instrument, the tenor banjo, gets me as close as I can to sort of being a percussionist. Because
Okay,
because when you hear this song, like most of the pitches don't really, you're not even listening to the pitches, they don't even really matter. It's just the rhythmic precision of it, the rhythmic contour, the drive of the rhythms that we're playing in unison, and also in sort of canon, and you know so yeah, that's, I don't know, I'm going on a off question, but
that's okay.
um,
All right, so for the uninitiated, Brandon Seabrook is a banjo player and
hey,
other things, right?
yeah, guitar, mandolin.
Yeah, so introduce yourself, because like literally I either came across your music by accident. I think that's what happened. Actually, no, a guy named William Sisson. He
Oh,
is really into the Brooklyn jazz scene, and he
uh-huh.
he sent me an email. Just he sends me things occasionally with really great recommendations. I put this on and I lost it. Like I I was laughing the whole
Oh,
way
good,
through,
good,
because
good.
it's just like obvious no one would make this music unless they were having fun and like
Yeah,
really serious about discipline and craft, but
yeah,
also like this is ridiculous. Like let's enjoy the name Lamborghini helicopter is just kind of like, all right, let's go,
it
let's
is
get
sort
into
of.
this. And I played it for my son, and
Oh my God.
he was so into it, and he played it for his friends who came over, for like a little party, and
How old is he?
he's 17.
Oh wow.
So
He's
this
into it.
music, when I first heard it from this email recommendation, it
Yeah.
was just so out, and I loved it. And so I put it in that music you need to hear or whatever
Yeah,
video
yeah.
that just totally blew up. Anyway, so I've
Thanks for
stolen a
doing
lot
that.
of the intro, but please introduce
Oh,
yourself.
I'm Brandon. I am Brandon Seabrook. I play the banjo and guitar. I'm a composer, improviser, live in Brooklyn, and we're talking about this. record from many years ago. The music you're hearing now, Seabrook Power Plant. It's our second record. It's bringing back a lot of memories. Like I mentioned a few times, I hadn't checked this music out in a decade or so since we've done it. We actually do have a live video of us playing Lamborghini Helicopter. That there's a live video of us playing another one of our pieces from this album called Black Sheep Squadron, but that's a guitar piece. But from the same session, we do have uh, Lamborghini Helicopter. So I'm gonna try to get that. It's from maybe 2016 or 17. We recorded it in the studio. We'll try to get that edited for you. Send it to you. Anyway.
Oh, that would be great. I actually have to.
See us play it. You can see us do it for real. Like we're actually doing it.
That's great. It's so funny because I put that video up with a few crazy songs right up front, including your song.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But what astounds me is how many people were like, "This is not music. This is awful. I'm out of here." And I love that because this channel does not need half the subscribers it has. So whatever I can do to like alienate the audience.
Hey, listen, that was the kind of gist of this band. Whatever we can do, let's push as hard as we can to get the real heads into this stuff. We don't care what most people think. I mean, this stuff. And I'm glad you laughed and thought it was sort of funny because I love humor. You know, does humor belong in music? And absolutely, there's not enough of it. And a lot of my music has a good amount of humor, and I definitely go for that.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that brings up the next track I want to play, which is from a new release called Brutal Love Champ. You found the brown notes. I don't know what is going on, but it's like the what do they call that? Vocal fry or something? Like you have perhaps a bass clarinetist or something playing.
Yeah, there's a contrabass clarinet.
Oh my goodness, these low raspy notes for 30 seconds, and I'm listening to it trying to work, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of getting a little nauseous here. But the music's incredible. Like you have a whole history of amazing compositions, and it's all on Bandcamp, and you can stream it.
Yeah, you can stream it. Wow, thanks I'm glad you got to listen to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's check out.
Which piece is it? I Want to Be Chlorophyll.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Part 2.
Yes, it was part 2.
Yeah. I'm glad you like that one.
Man, I mean, Make Weird Music is the name of the channel, but like.
Yeah, this one's good.
this one's
found my channel. This is it.
All right, so this is one called I Want to Be Chlorophylled 2 Thermal Rinse. And it's a bloodbath.
Okay.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah, it starts with cello.
I'm going to skip a little more.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, that one is. Get some good speakers for that one.
Yeah. So there's a part of me that's like, did he do that on purpose? And then I'm like, what do you think? This happened by accident?
Yeah, no, that's all written down. That's all through composed. Yeah.
What was going on? Like, what is this project? A Brutal Love Champ, and
Yeah, it's an octet of mine called Epic Proportions, which is two contrabasses, a woodwind player that plays contrabass, clarinet, recorder, cellist, percussionist, drummer. What else? I play guitar and banjo. There's an electronics person and vocalist, and I think that's it. Yeah, and we put this record out last year and did a few shows, and we're hopefully going to be playing some more shows in 2025. And yeah, it's funny, to me, that piece you played. This project was really about kind of sort of like embracing more lyricism and space and things that develop a little slower than Seabrook Power Plant, where nothing really repeats. Everything's rapid fire. Change, 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 jump cuts, done by humans, not tapes or electronics. But this project, because some of the other songs were a little, take their time developing. There's more space. There's actually some melodic content that's a little different from my other work. But I like how you chose this piece, because this one is it's pretty dense. It's pretty dense. It's similar to Lamborghini Helicopter. It doesn't go at quite the same velocity, but it's similar in the density. To that piece.
Oh yeah. These kinds of pieces, I hear these things and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to play this for someone. And really,
oh wow,
that's kind of the genesis of this whole channel. Like, I would hear something.
Yeah, when did it start? When did this channel start?
2014, 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
But like, you've got musician friends, you hear something noteworthy, and then you're like, you have to hear this. It's just like YouTube or Instagram or whatever. You're like, you've got to see this little video, whatever. For me, it's songs. And when I was listening through your catalog, I was like, oh my goodness, this song is just real. It feels like it's tearing me up inside. And when I have that feeling of there's nothing on earth like this, we have to feature it. So I thought it was really awesome. And the whole album is really cool. Brutal Love Champ.
Oh, thanks for checking that out.
Yeah. So for people who are curious, in the lower left corner of the screen is Brandon's let's see, it's this finger, is the URL for Brandon's Bandcamp. So type that in. It's probably in the YouTube video description as well. But check out Brandon's music because it's so interesting, and across the board, it's like it's unexpected in so many different ways. So let's check out the first track. Actually, let's go back to Seabrook Power Plant a little bit.
Yeah.
And then let's see. What's another track that we should put on from that
Seabrook Power Plant? Mm-hmm. Like another banjo track?
Yeah,
or
Ho Chi Minh Trail, maybe?
Oh, that's from our first record.
Right.
Sure. That's from Seabrook Power Plant 1 from way back in 2009. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, cool. Let's check it out.
Ho Chi Minh Trail.
I'm gonna keep people
Yeah,
waiting in
yeah,
suspense. There, you can go check out the rest of the track to see where that goes. Ho Chi Minh Trail from Seabrook Power Plant 1, the album that came
yeah.
out in 2009.
That is a real blast from the past. Now that track I haven't listened to in a long time. It's great to hear that again. Wow, that we recorded that in 2008. Came out the next year. Wow.
Wow. Somebody was asking in the chat,
Yeah.
More Dread is their name. Was that a bowed banjo at the start?
Yes, it was. I feature bowed banjo a lot in my recordings. Yeah, there was a double tracked bowed banjo on that piece. Good ear.
Yeah, for sure. I never would have picked that up.
Good ear. Yeah.
And Sharon Baker, our trusty moderator, who's here for so many of our streams to help us out, she said, how was this recorded? What were the thoughts when it was put together?
Yeah. The thoughts when this was put together was to put a lot of the things that I love about maybe sort of more avant-garde music and experimental music, like minimalism, you know, repeated lines, improvisation, with my love of rock music and big drums in a concise song form, you know. So I wanted to put all these things kind of in a 4-minute song with like a, you know, guess you call it verse, chorus, bridge. Yeah, that's the sort of like the idea around a lot of this stuff, and especially this piece. There's that section in the middle that's just this repetitive line, sort of morphs into improvisation, and yeah, and I really like, yeah, the most, yeah, just I really like things that are concise and tight and really worked out. So that's what I was hearing, you know, all the things that I love, sort of like a blender in this sort of like rock prog production format. You know, I didn't want it to be like 10 minutes long where we really go, you know, I have other bands for that, but for this, yeah.
I don't know how you would do a 10-minute song.
Yeah, no, I don't even.
More Dread asks, follow up, what's the ratio of composition versus improvisation here? Do you start with improv and then it gets refined step by step into a composition?
No, it starts more of like I come up with the riffs and ideas, and it's really straight, and we bring it into the band, and once we all play it, then there's ideas for improv. But you know, Seabrook Power Plant, I'd say it's more like 80% composition, 20% improv, or 70-30. It's really a sort of kind of like a rock band playing parts, but we make sure there's improvisation, but there's not when we play live, there's much more. But in the studio, I always want the studio artifact to be different from the live show. I always want this, you know, go for the studio to be more concise and to the point and tight. And then live, we would stretch, if you can imagine, we would stretch all these sections out a little bit, and there'd be more improvisation just from the energy of playing live. It would be exciting.
So this is all written out? Like you've got sheet music?
It's written out. Yeah. And it's funny that in our shows, I wouldn't read the music because I'd written it and internalized it, but the bass player, Tom Blankheart, and my brother actually plays drums, Jared Seabrook. They would kind of have a music stand. They would kind of have the music on the floor. We wanted to keep it kind of punk rock, but they would have music on the floor tom. So they'd be kind of like reading the charts. But also the charts they're pretty precise, but they're also, you know, we worked out a lot of the parts together like a band. You know, it's not everything's written, but we would work certain things out. Some things would work, other things wouldn't. You know, I'm pretty particular about the drums a lot, like no cymbals, keep it on the hi-hat, only snare. You know, I always start with the drums and kind of build the arrangement.
Yep. Okay, so Brandon has made a very generous offer, and I'm going to up the ante a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's offering to give away a few of the vinyl copies of Seabrook Power Plant 2, but I'm going to add, if you go and buy something on his Bandcamp, then you should be able to get a free vinyl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Download.
Yeah, go buy a download, you know, throw him a few bucks, at least cover the cost of shipping, you know, and...
Yeah, send me your address. First, the first 2 callers. Well, there's only 2 people on here, so.
There's actually 14 now, I think.
Oh
15.
shit! Well, whoever gives their first 2 people to give their address right now, I will send you a copy.
Yep. You got to buy something on Bandcamp, though. I mean,
If you do live in Brooklyn, I can even just come by and pick it up. Out on the street, but.
More Dread asks, what would shipping to Germany look like? That's probably like a $30.
I'm sorry, More Dread.
Yeah.
I can't do it to Europe. Europe is just too much shipping. Yeah, it's something crazy like $30 or. And with the customs and stuff, I've had stuff sent back to me. Yeah,
it is risky.
I have this record for sale on Bandcamp, but I put it up for like $50 or so, just because dealing with shipping is a pain. But I do have quite a few copies left. But
either way,
if anybody, let me know. Send me a few addresses. Oh, and here's my here's Jaxie. She's been wanting to know what's going on. I don't know if you've had dogs on.
No dogs on the channel yet. The first dog, Jaxie. All right,
really
cool.
excited about coming in.
So let's wrap this up.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, like just go out and buy some Bandcamp stuff and then email Brandon or something. Brandon, how do you want them to reach you?
Yeah, you can send me a message through Bandcamp.
Perfect.
Right, it will go to my personal email, and then I can write you back.
All right, cool. Sounds good. And check out his new stuff, Brutal Love Champ. Oh, and I should probably...
A new record coming out this October, solo banjo and guitar.
Wow.
Called Object of Unknown Function. And I'll be hitting the road a little bit in October on the West Coast and Midwest, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, Sharon says your next live date is July 13th in Chicago at the Experimental Sound Studio.
Yeah, I'll be playing solo there. So anybody in Chicago, solo music from my new record that's coming up.
Cool. And I'll just address some other stuff for Make Weird Music.
Yeah.
We have a couple new interviews coming up. I have not scheduled them through the channel yet, but I'm so excited about this. I have waited for this interview for at least a couple of years. Becca Stevens, do you know her?
Oh, the singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a songwriter, yeah.
The ground up music artist, Becca Stevens. She's done, she sang Cogs and Cogs with Brad Meldau. She's done work with Antonio Sanchez. Her solo music is awesome. They did an amazing cover of 2 + 2 = 5 by Radiohead on with the Attica Quartet. She's fantastic, and finally through composer Robert Miller got a connection, and so we've made
great.
That interview is this Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And then Brandon, I think you should check this one out.
Yeah.
A guy named Cyrus Pire, a P-I-R.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Do you?
Guitarist. Yeah. He has a really cool solo record that he put out.
Yes, he does. So
I'm Here, I think it's called, or
something like that. So Cyrus has this track called If I Play Fast Enough.
Oh yeah.
It will turn into food and shelter.
Yeah, I know that track. That's cool. It's great.
It's the most insane guitar performance I've seen in years. It's him playing as fast as possible on the right hand and just experimenting on the left. There's a 20-minute recording of it, and then I found an hour and 15-minute long version of it on his YouTube. So we're going to talk about that. And then, so that's Wednesday the 19th. We actually have 3 live streams next week, which is
that's great,
unheard of. And then
you're doing great work. You're doing great stuff.
Oh, thanks. And then Thursday the 20th, we have Matt Muntz. And Matt's music was featured in that same video as Brandon's. The kind of modern, the modern like Henry Cow kind of music.
Yeah. That's great.
So Matt will be on the channel Thursday at, I think, 10 a.m. Pacific. Cyrus will be Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, and Becca Stevens at 10 a.m. on Tuesday.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it should be a great week. And then I'm seeing Todd Rundgren live on Wednesday night.
Nice.
And possibly Cowboy Junkies on Tuesday night.
Is Todd playing at a theater or something?
Yeah, Celebrity Theater.
Did you have him on the channel? Did you have him?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah,
I watched that. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we did an a cappella interview.
Yeah, right. I love that record. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I love Todd.
All right, so thank you everyone for joining the stream. Like I said, go buy something on Bandcamp from Brandon. He'll send a free copy to people in the U.S., probably contiguous U.S., copy of the Seabrook Power Plant on vinyl. And check us out next week for the interviews. And I think that's everything. Let's close with one last clip. Let's do something.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah.
It's an honor to be on stage. All your work is so great. All the interviews.
Oh, my goodness. Really, that's awesome. Let's check out Essential Exaltations.
Aha!
All right, cool. Here we go.
Okay.
I'll skip ahead.